Hello and welcome to Gary's Scary. Sorry, I always scare you when I do that, don't I? This is the final episode of Haunted Childhood Home, and it was only fitting that Tabitha introduced it with me because she introduced the very first one with me. I'm Gary. This is Tabitha. How was that for our first video? Yay! And in this episode, she actually went over there with me, so over to the house, didn't we? So, if you're ready, let's do this one more time. But first, my spirit of choice tonight while talking about the spirits, for the last time, is a Skittles shot. And I'm drinking it from a Ventura, California shot glass when I went down and visited my nephews recently. But this cheers is for all of you who have stuck with this series from the beginning, and for those of you who are brand new to it, cheers. Does anybody want to communicate with me? Well, at least you're honest. Tabitha and I are heading over to the...
10 miles. Take the exit onto Catches Lake Road.
Say what?
Proceed to the route.
Okay, that was the weirdest thing. GPS was telling me to get off the freeway and go on this other road. And then when you get off and start going down that road, there's a big sign that says, "Do not follow GPS. Stay on I-90. That was kind of funny. Oh, Tabitha, let's hope we don't have an incident like we did before with the sheets. I was laying in bed, and the sheets underneath me started to pull, like someone was pulling them out from underneath me. And my dog Tabitha, she freaked out and she went running up behind me. So she was well aware that there was something going on that just wasn't quite right. We're here. We just walk in the door and she's already leery of something. The first thing I always do when I get here is take my sheets and put them in the wash, because you never know who was sleeping in them, or if there were some mice families in there. Something I just caught as I was going through this footage. Watch what goes by the doorway. Are we gonna do ghost hunting? I was just going through some stuff in the closet back here, and creepy! And Princess Di actually passed away right before my mother did. I found this drawing in an old high school sketchbook of mine. This just shows how obsessed with the Ouija board I was back then. I wonder if these slides could give us a clue as to why I was so obsessed with it. That's my mother, pregnant with me, and look at what my grandmother and her did that same night. Seriously? This first night here, I need to get some rest. But I am going to put the EMF detector on with the camera on it for as long as it'll run, and we'll see if anything comes into the room and walks around me while I'm sleeping. Yay! With the exception of a couple of breaks, it kept doing this the whole time. Wait, how'd this get on here? Stop! In the morning, I took Tabitha around to visit all of the pet graves, and this right here is where my very first dog was buried. Her name was Taffy, and she looked kind of similar to Tabitha, same color, same size. What I don't show here is when Tabitha decided to take a poo right on top of her grave. But maybe that's a good thing in dog world, and she was just making sure she got her scent. Show yourself. Oh God, that just scared the frick out of me. That was the water pump. Bringing out the spirit box. Whoa, already. Who was that?
Word.
A word? Okay, can you say that word again? Okay, that just sounded like your mother. Okay, I heard a woman. Okay, it's time to get some rest. Hey, Tabs, do you remember that time we were here and there was something with us in the basement? I'd gone to the house with my dog, Tabitha, and we were sitting in the basement. I was doing some writing, I think, and I thought I saw this person out the window. So I got up and I walked towards the window to take a look, and nobody was out there. That's when I heard something with claws running up beside me. Of course, I thought it was Tabitha, so I looked down to say something to her, and she wasn't there. She was still on the couch behind me. What was beside me, you couldn't see, but the carpet design was moving. So it was like there was something there that you were seeing through, and its movements were making the carpet look like it was moving. This sent chills up my spine like nothing I had ever experienced before. I turned around to run back to the couch to where Tabitha was, and time slowed down. It was like I was running through mud trying to get away from this thing until finally, it's like I broke free, and then I was back there with her, and I grabbed her, and we left the basement. All right. Mom and Dad, I'll see you next week. But for those of you watching at home or wherever you may be, you don't have to wait. We're going back right now. Oh, and by the way, that honk right there is because whenever Mom and Dad would see me off, they'd still be outside when I'd be going down the road, and I would always give a double honk. And we're back, but it's night. I seem to be missing some time. Aliens? Nope, but my brother's here, and that's a good thing because I don't have Tabitha with me this time to protect me. That night, one of the last neighboring homes caught on fire. Hello, and welcome to Gary's Scaries. My spirit of choice tonight, while talking to the spirits for the final time, is a Skittles shot. Cheers. I just had a really good talk with the house and my parents. Not in a way that I could have captured evidence. I feel good about it. I feel good now. My brother is asleep in front of the TV downstairs watching Gunsmoke. I can't believe how much stuff my parents still had here. Well, not like they could have taken it with them. My brother and I were talking down in the living room, and something fell in the kitchen, and it was really loud, and I went up there and I couldn't find anything that fell. I'm setting an alarm for 3. My brother made the joke. He's like, but we just went back in daylight savings time, so maybe they'll be showing up at 4 instead of 3. I said, okay, I'll be up from 3 to 4. This is probably my last shot here at the house. So, cheers, guys. I should have had this going the whole time I was out here in Dad's garage. I was over here working with some spray paint. And over there somewhere, a tool fell, like a heavy metal one. And then I couldn't find what it was that fell, but it scared the crap out of me. So I'm gonna leave this on for a little bit. Can you show me that you're here? Now, although this showed up with good timing, this, in fact, is a bug.
What we captured was way beyond explanation. In this one photo up against this tree is, for lack of a better term, a ghost of an insect.
However, when going through this footage, I also noticed this. And that can only be one thing.
Ghost of an insect.
But this is where your great-grandma passed. And she would see things in here all the time. And this is her old bed. I dare you to go to the barn. I dare you to off. The basement door's unlocked. Shut up. It is. Well, go lock it. Look at that. Shut the up. Stop it. What was that?
I don't fucking...
What the did you just do?
I didn't do anything.
That was scary. I didn't know.
Driving a U-Haul. And it looks like I'm going to be at this intersection for a little while, so how's it going? I started on all of this back in the beginning of August. It is now November, and we are finally almost done. And since we've signed off on the sale of the house, I am going to go back to Seattle while my brother is going to wait around for his check. Well, you've probably guessed that this was not my last trip over here. So I'm making another trip over to the house. This one I was not expecting. I thought I was done over there, but my brother requested that I come back for the last night that he's there. So that's what I'm gonna do. If this was really going to be the last night in the house, I was going to use anything possible to try and communicate. I had this pack of tarot cards here that I had never used before, and I don't know how to use them, but I tried. Oh my God. You saw that. Okay, something's telling me to grab the spirit box. One sec. Who's here with me right now? Ghosts? How many ghosts? Okay, I just heard 7, and then another voice said ghost again. How many ghosts? Can you see me? Oh, you're watching me, huh? Then how many fingers am I holding up?
That was actually a trick question because I'm not holding up any fingers. But weird that you responded with numbers.
How many fingers am I holding up? What would Aunt Donna make out of popcorn for Thanksgiving? No f***ing way. This one is really interesting because if that's what they're saying, if they're saying turkey, they are exactly right. My aunt would bring a popcorn turkey to Thanksgiving every year for all the kids to devour. It was made out of caramel corn and looked something like this. Mine's just not as pretty as hers was. What would Aunt Donna make out of popcorn for Thanksgiving? No f***ing way. Who built this house? That looks like Mom. I mean, not from the neck down, but the face.
Why should I take the one that's already started?
In fact, this looks a lot like the time when I was trying to explain in another video when she came to me in a dreamlike state and it was just her face in this glowing ball of light. It was very real. She was in front of me, but in a light type of form. And you could kind of see her face in it, but not quite, yet I knew who I was talking to. And what makes this even more real to me is the fact that when she said she had to go, and I tried to keep the conversation going, she was very adamant about having to leave. And as soon as she did so, as soon as that light kind of backed away and faded out, the alarm clock went off. Who can tell me what this is? I'll give you a hint. It's a seed. It's a marigold seed, actually. These were my mom's favorite flowers besides gladiolas, and every year she would line the walkway going up to the front door with tons of marigolds. You can kind of see them in this picture here around Halloween after a frost had already hit. But more importantly, look at my mom, the witch. She was the best witch every year. And I just happened to wake up on the last morning in this house to find a marigold seed in my bed. I think she wants me to take the tradition home with me. Well, we just dropped off the final stuff to storage and heading back to the house and picking up my stuff and heading home. Now, although I didn't find out exactly what had been causing all these strange occurrences over the years, I did come across a clue. This old card from my grandmother who tells me to be good or she'll haunt me. I really love this. My brother ripped up the carpet in the basement, and underneath it were my dad's and my uncle's initials because they built this house.
The last shot. Cheers, Mom and Dad.
We now come to the end of Haunted Childhood Home. I thank you once again for taking this journey with me. I came looking for answers, and although I'm not leaving with many of them, I am leaving with something else. Closure.